Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I'm Grace. We're going to be doing a little nighttime yoga, some yin, to just relax the body and get you ready for sleep. And as you can see, I'm in my pajamas, and we have Xander in the house, little man. He's right here. Hey, Xander. He's a little man. He's in the house. Yeah, John's cat, high inheritance. So we're going to start off in a nice Sukhasana, seated pose, cross-legged, and just finding those sits bones on the floor. If you want to put a little cushion under your buttocks, back end of your buttocks, you can do that. And beginning to just rest in breath awareness. If you can breathe through your nostrils and being aware of that air and how it's a little cooler as it moves in through the inhale than the exhale. Allowing that breath just naturally as you bring your awareness to it to deepen a little bit and slow down a little bit. Nothing to rush to or hurry for. It's just being present to that breath, mindful and aware. And maintaining that nostril breathing, dropping that breath down to the belly, to the lower abdomen. And bringing that breath awareness as you subabdominal breathing. Taking a moment to think about something that you like to create, like to manifest, a skill you may want to develop, an intention. It could be for this day, this year, rest of your life, this month, season. Taking a moment to affirm that within you silently and allow yourself to see some pictures, some mental rehearsal of this intention fully manifest. End result. And releasing that intention with this or better, this or better, this or better. And bringing your hands gently on your knees and Beginning to move back and forth gently, side to side. Noticing those sensations. You can get your shoulders into it a little bit. And maybe begin to move forward and back, or a little bit of cat-cow. And breathing, maintaining that breath through the nostrils and dropping it down to the belly. As you exhale, you'll feel that navel coming in towards the spine. As you inhale, you'll feel the navel expand out. And maybe even now making some circles, any spontaneous movements as you move around that pelvis. Nice deep breaths. And noticing and enjoying any sensations you may be feeling. And then coming back to center. And let's put the feet together in our butterfly Baddha Konasana and begin to flap those butterfly wings, just nice and gently. Sitting up those hips and coming to a slow stop. And getting to move, keeping the spine straight, just gently rocking back and forth, and feel that movement in the hip. Spine is straight, it's not rolling over. Keeping that spine straight, and just find that hip. And then on your next exhale, beginning to hinge forward, keeping the spine straight. And when you feel you're right there at the edge of that hinge, taking a nice deep breath, inhale and exhale. And at the bottom of the exhale, allow the spine to round and just kind of relaxing in this forward fold Baddha Konasana. And breathe. And maybe you can go as low as the forearms or have the arms outstretched. Find what works for you and your body. Maybe up on the fingertips. Relaxing the head. And breathe. Fully present to the sensations. Beautiful. Now your next inhale coming up. Beautiful job. And we're going to release those feet, bring the knees up and coming up into a table. So the knees are right underneath the hips and the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. We'll move into some cat-cow. So as you inhale, you're going to lift the head and the chest, arch the back, and lift the tail. And on your exhale, we're going to go into cat, tucking that tailbone, rounding the back, and then dropping the head to look in towards the legs or the belly. Inhaling, like extension up the spine as we inhale into cow, and exhaling into cat, flexion of the spine. And continue a couple more at your own pace, going slow enough so that you can notice sensation in your body. Bringing your awareness to the spine, the vertebrae. The ones that are moving. And begin when you get into your cat, bringing those hips back. Feeling a nice stretch on the lower back. And moving a little spontaneously. Relaxing the head. Breathe. And then on your next inhale, we're going to come all the way up and we're going to move up into an up dog. So wrists are under your shoulders. You can curl those toes under and lift the legs. Or you could rest. Tops of the feet on the earth. You can press into the tops of those feet a little. Gentle lift of the knees off the floor. A little bit of tapas before we move into some more relaxation. And 2 breaths here. You can engage that mula bandha gently, that pelvic floor. And once you get to the bottom of the exhale, gently come down and relax. Head to one side or the other. For a couple breaths. And switch to the other side. And then come back to center, and you can take a little pillow for your head, or you can come up a little bit. That's more comfortable. And bring the shins, the lower leg, and the feet up. And just taking your time to drop the feet over to one side. Notice the sensations. And then nice and slowly moving them to the other side. Noticing the sensations in the pelvis and the hips and the legs. And continue at your own pace, nice and slowly. Windshield wipering these feet. No need to flex or extend. And just feet are just relaxed. Keeping the breath moving through the nostrils, belly breathing. Feel your belly pressing against the floor on the inhale. And one more time on either side. And beautiful. Coming back to center, bringing the legs down. And we're going to roll over onto our backs. Nice and gently. And taking those knees and bringing them gently side to side again. Little, there we go. Beautiful. Coming back to center and bring the knees into the chest. Apanasana. And if you can rock back and forth gently, release that lower back. And bringing the feet together in the Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly. And see if you can pull those feet in a little closer to the body, never forcing, just allowing the body to open up, the hips to open up. Engaging the Mula Bandha and breathe. Deep nostril breathing from the belly. Beautiful. And then let's open up both legs into a nice V shape and rocking back and forth gently and gently pulling the legs a little closer into the body, honoring your gentle edge and breathing in through the nose, enjoying all the beautiful sensations. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Let's bend those knees. The soles of the feet facing the heavens. Hands are wrapped around the outer edge. And pulling the legs down gently. In a baby. Opening those hips. And breathe. And then moving into happy baby. Kicking around spontaneously in ways that feel good in your body. Just like when you were a baby and you first explored and discovered you had legs, playing with those legs. A couple more breaths here. And nice and slowly bringing the feet down to the floor with the knees up. Just do a couple releases and Savasana. So we'll start with our hula. We're not lifting any part of the sacrum or the pelvis off the floor. We're just swiveling the hips. So you'll feel the right hip come up while the left goes down, and then vice versa. The left is down, the right is up, and the right is up, the left is down. Just swiveling those hips and feeling that hip bone, front of the pelvis, swiveling. Feel it in the lower lumbar, sacrum a little bit. Nice, gentle movement. Feel it in that whole area. And coming back to center, we move into hip pointers. So one at a time, I'm gonna take my right hip and I'm gonna press that one down into the floor. And then the left hip, I'm gonna lift up and point up towards the sky, at a little angle. Hip pointers, and I'm gonna rest that left hip down, root that into the floor, and lift the right one up and point that up towards the heavens. And just going back and forth, noticing and enjoying, embodying all the sensations, embodying your conscious awareness into your body, the attention of the sensations. Nice deep belly breaths. And coming back to center, and that's doing a little bit of cat cow supine on our backs. So as you move into your cow, you're going to feel the back go into extension and lift up off, arch up off the earth. You go into your cat, feeling that spine going into flexion, and you'll feel the small of the back and that um, lumbar vertebrae pressing into the earth. Moving back and forth in cat cow, flexion, extension. Coming back to center. And we're going to take our feet and we're going to bring them out a little wider. And we're going to drop one knee at a time in towards the center, single knee drop. Nice and slow. Basking in all the awareness, all the sensations you are aware of. Deep belly breaths in through the nose. Calming the nervous system, preparing the body for sleep. Coming back to center, walking those feet back together to our last release, dropping the knees over to one side. You either can windshield wipe them over to the other side, or you can take that top leg, nice and slowly move it over to the other side. And then the bottom leg will follow its own perfect timing. Keeping the breath flowing, deep, slow breaths, belly breathing through the nose. More. And when you're done, coming back to center, And making any last little movements or maybe even a last yoga pose before we go into either sleep or savasana. And that you're just going right to bed. Or you want to do a short savasana and have a few more things to do before bed. Once you're done with your last minute poses, getting yourself nice and comfortable. If you want to put something under your knees or under your head, something nice and thin under the head for this relaxation, or if you have an eye pillow or want a blanket, taking care of yourself so you're cozy. Begin to notice your breath in the belly. In the body, relax deeper into the earth. Every breath, every exhale, releasing more. Basking in the silent stillness, absorbing the practice. And needing to come back, again, a nice deep breath into the belly, or if you're going to sleep, you can turn off this video and relax into a nice, deep, peaceful, restful sleep, blessed and surrounded by great love. Stretching out your fingers and your legs. You're coming back and rolling over to one side. Taking a breath here. And then coming up. Almost fell asleep on you. Maybe I did for a minute. Taking a moment to check in and scan your body. Notice how you feel inside. And bring yourself back to that intention that you set at the beginning of this practice. And releasing that intention with the this or better, this or better, this or better. And we conclude with a namaste prayer. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. I'm Grace. ecstatic yoga, you can go to ecstaticyoga.studio or oneworldstudio.com for more information on our trainings and retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.